One thing the drivers can agree on when it comes to DoorDash is it's very important and critical to maintain a decent to fairly good driver rating. According to DoorDash, your rating has an influence on what type of promotions you can get in the future, as well as it being used as a metric to see if you need to get deactivated or not. If you drop below a 4.2 on DoorDash, you're at severe risk of getting deactivated. With that being the case, it's always good to know these tactics that you can use to either raise or maintain a very high rating on DoorDash. And stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to share with you the final way, which is probably the most influential way in my opinion in keeping your DoorDash rating high. So let's get into it. Hello everyone, this is Elijah with the Rideshare Guy, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you 5 ways to either increase your DoorDash rating or maintain a high rating once it's already gotten. See, when it comes to DoorDash ratings, most people actually won't rate you just by default. They either won't rate you unless something goes wrong. So if something goes wrong with the order, then they're going to get on their phone and leave you a bad rating. But a lot of people actually didn't have an issue with the order, but they don't rate you. And these people would make great candidates to give you a 5-star rating, which of course will go a long way towards increasing your DoorDash rating. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but I think we all know on some level that it takes maybe 3 or 4 good 5-star ratings to undo a 1-star rating, because sometimes customers are petty. We all get those 1-star ratings for whatever reason. The issue is we're not getting enough 5-star ratings to balance it out. So these 5 tips are going to go a long way towards getting more people to rate you, in addition to those ratings being 5 stars. So let's get into it. First up is to actually check for small items in your orders. And what I mean by small items, I don't mean digging in the order itself. I'm talking about beverages. So I've been guilty of this in the past, but we may sometimes be in a rush. So when we get to a restaurant, we may check that the order is the same as we're picking up for John, etc. But when we're going down the list, DoorDash has you check off, hey, do you have this, 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 and this? And every once in a while, we may forget to check for beverages. Now, restaurants are notorious for forgetting beverages. So you want to make sure that you check for any kind of beverages, any kind of kids drink. And if there is a beverage that's missing, let the restaurant know so they can go ahead and make it. Beverages are an easy way for customers to get mad and rate you a 1-star. So one way we can turn that around is by making sure they get their beverages. I mean, think about it for a sec. Would you want to eat a meal without a beverage? Probably not. And a side note on this tip, if the restaurant is out of a particular beverage, they're out of High C or Dr. Pepper or whatever, shoot the customer a quick text asking them, hey, they're out of such and such, what do you want for a replacement? And just wait a minute or two. Usually they'll respond. Now, if they don't respond, I always tell the restaurant to pick something that's a substitute. And I tell them to write a note inside the order itself explaining that they were out of High C or whatever and put it in the order. That way, if the customer does get upset, they can blame the restaurant and not you. So it decreases the chance that you'll take the hit for it. Speaking of restaurants and items, tip 2 is to avoid certain restaurants that have been routinely just messing up orders. So there's certain things we can't control, and one of those things is what's in the order itself. Like, you can't peek in there and make sure that there's double fries and stuff like that. You know, that's just not our job. But if, let's say, they put in single fries and the customer ordered a double, sometimes we'll take the hit for that. So if you notice your rating keeps dipping for no reason after you visit a certain restaurant, and that's another thing, if you check your rating routinely, you'll be able to tell like what restaurants are kind of screwing up, because your rating always goes down after visits that restaurant. So if they keep messing up, then you need to put them on a do not do business list for a little while, at least until you get your rating up. For me personally, I usually wait a few weeks to a month, and usually there's some small change in staff because these restaurants have high turnover rate. So then it might have an influence on them actually being able to fully fulfill these orders like they should have in the first place. Number 3 is to actually use your DoorDash bag and let the customer see it. This is more so let the customer see it. So this time around, most drivers actually are using insulated bags, and that's good. But not every driver is letting their customer see the bag. They just take the food out of the bag, then walk up to the customer's door, and the customer never sees it. As an additional tip, these contactless deliveries where you just leave it at the door, These count too, even though the customer may not necessarily see you. Half of them are watching you, to make sure they're watching you. So when you leave it at the door, if they see you taking it out of an insulated bag, that counts too. So whether you're actually giving it to the customer or they're watching you from afar or whatever, they need to see the bag in both instances. So it doesn't take that much more effort to actually just take the bag with you and pull the food out of the bag so they can see that you have it. And that will go a long way towards not only them rating you and giving you 5 stars, but it may actually influence your tips a little too. Number 4 is to actually just smile. I know you're thinking that's not much of a tip, but I've seen people in a bad mood all day when they're doing this. I don't know why, but listen to whatever music you have in your car. Take advantage of the fact this isn't Rideshare, and listen to whatever music you need to get you in a good mood, and just be a happy-going person delivering food. This goes for customers as well as restaurants. I mean, this time around, more customers are doing the contactless deliveries. We leave it at the door, so it may not apply as much to customers, but merchants can rate us too. So just smiling and being kind of friendly with the merchants goes a long way too. Most of the time, it has an influence on you not getting rated down more so than getting rated up. But if the merchants do rate you down, obviously that still takes effect. So it's something to consider. And who doesn't like being in a good mood? And number 5, which is the MVP in terms of useful tactics to increase your rating, is to use texts. And what I mean by use texts is you need to send 3 standard texts when you're delivering for DoorDash. And I have these saved in my phone, so I recommend you do the same so you don't have to keep texting these out, but it goes a long way towards getting more customers to rate you in general, and in particular rate you 5 stars. The first one is to send a text as soon as you get the order. Now, this one can be omitted if you're actually driving while you get an order. But let's say you're waiting in a parking lot, for your next order, then order pops up, you take it. Well, then your hands are free to actually do this text message. Me personally, I always say something along the lines of, hey, my name is Elijah. It's nice to meet you, such and such, whatever the name, we'll just say Jennifer in this case. I'm looking forward to getting your food to you so you can chow down. I'll see you soon. Something simple like that. You don't want to be over long-winded, because if it's over a paragraph, chances are they're not going to read it. But if it's something like short and sweet, you'll go a long way towards, oh, okay, I appreciate that, thanks. The second text I send is once I'm in the car, I have the food, and right before I swipe to start the process of heading towards the customer, I'll text something along these lines. Hey, such and such, I've got the food and I'm on my way to you right now. Can you confirm that the address entered in the app is the address you need me to bring the food to? If not, please let me know. I'll see you soon. That does 2 things. The first thing is it's letting the customer know exactly where they are in the process. The app does it too, but it's missing that human touch. It's just a robot. When you send it, it's just an extra reaffirmation that you're actually thinking about the customer, and that goes a long way. The second one is it can save you a lot of headaches if they did put the actual wrong address in. And if they put a wrong address and it's around the same area, like not that much distance, you could take it there. If it's a different address that's further than the original address, well, at that point you need to contact DoorDash, and they'll either break you off a little more for going the distance or they'll cancel it. But the point is, it can save you the headache of going extra miles and not getting paid for them. So there's that. And the last text that can be sent is when you drop the food off, before you swipe deliver, don't just swipe deliver as you're walking off. Go back in your car and send something along the lines of, hey, such and such, it was awesome being your dasher today. If you enjoyed the experience, could you go on the DoorDash app and leave me a rating? It's much appreciated. You enjoy your meal and have a great day. So what this does is you're reminding them to rate you politely, but you've also been contacting them the whole time in a non-bothering way. So a lot of people will actually rate you based on that. And it makes you stand out, because I'm going to be honest, a lot of people watching this video, only like 20% of people are actually going to do these texts. So it's going to make you stand out. And there we have it. We have 5 ways that you can increase your DoorDash rating or maintain a good or high rating once you get it. That does it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, as well as give us a like and subscribe if you're new. We publish new videos every single week, so you'll want to stay up to date on more information on DoorDash coming up. If you haven't signed up for DoorDash and you're interested, you can sign up using our link in the description below, as well as check out our DoorDash tutorial to learn the basics of the DoorDash app and how to deliver with DoorDash. I'll catch you in the next video. This is Elijah signing off. Be safe and profitable, everyone.